Welcome back to the road to the FIA Motorsport Games 2024 and the knockout for picking out the winner here in Lithuania. Brought to you by OBS. As always, it is the Race of Spain here together with the Lithuanian Automobile Sport Federation. It is the final round, and we are, well, looking at a very sunny Aragon circuit, but it's definitely sunny out there, but definitely wet out on track. You're not seeing this. This was pre-recorded a little bit earlier. This is the track map, a beautiful circuit here. We've seen the drivers traverse it in the OBS Endurance Cup. Well, we're back with a tiny bit of a different layout this time round. 3 sectors around this place, and, well, you've got the super tight hairpin there at the end. This is what the circuit looks like from the outside. A beautiful place here in what I'd call a desert of Spain, to be honest. It is quite an interesting place, and you'll see that very, very famous brick wall on the left-hand side of one of the corners. Looking at the track we are, and we can head down on to the circuit as we take a look at one of the drivers here out on track. This is the number 23 of Justinas Bumbulis, who is on provisional pole. He is still on the wets, and as the track dries, you'll see drivers maybe taking a risk sometimes to go onto the slicks to maybe gain some positions, especially in the semi-final. We might only have one semi-final due to the amount of participants here. A lot of them choosing to enjoy the sunny days out, but some of them still fighting for the title. This is Justinas Bumbulis. He's still on the wet tire, on the wet Pirelli, as he runs down into the final turn. This is Povilas Duchovskis in the 15. He's on the wets as well, I do believe. Yep, he's still on the wet. So Nojus Sabas, Airijus Jomantas, Juozas Kiršys, Domas Antanas Raižys, Haroldas Jotautas, and Martynas Bragaliauskas. They're out all on the slick tire. So this will be, well, it's a difficult choice, right, to make. Cooling the tires look like Povilas Duchovskis. It is quickest overall for Povilas Duchovskis, a 2-minute 14.1. The drivers will try to go under the 2-minute mark as they head through the qualifying session. This is Haroldas Jotautas. He's on the slicks, remember. You can still see quite a bit of the puddles, but maybe not as much spray as the wet tires would need to push out. Maybe the slicks are enough now, and this will be a hard battle. We'll see what Povilas Duchovskis chooses here at the end of the session. Remember, Haroldas Jotautas, your championship leader. Everybody now going on slicks. Zigmantas Ivančikas to third. Haroldas Jotautas up to pole with a 2-minute 12.5. Now this will be a race of who's the last to set a lap time, because the track keeps drying out. You've still got those puddles all the way around. They'll have to avoid those, but definitely the slicks now the preferred option, and this is the first quickest lap that anybody's set on the slick tire. We'll see. Maybe the wets can still be an option, but no, everybody's switching over to the slicks. Is this Mantas Armalis? I believe it is. Yeah, Mantas Armalis on a lap. Let's see what he does at the end of this one. And that is an improvement, and, well, a lap, actually, and up to 4th position he goes for the time being. But these positions, they will change, going over the puddles at some spots, so not afraid. Actually, he's on the wets, so Mantas Armalis on the wets. Looking at the 13, that is Juozas Kiršys in the number 13 car. This is Juozas Kiršys on your screens. He's on the slicks as well. So only 3 cars remaining on the wets are Mantas Armalis, Raigardas Sidabras, and Zigmantas Ivančikas. They're still staying out on the wet tire. Not a bad lap from Mantas Armalis, but I think the slicks can be quicker. See who keeps on improving. Haroldas Jotautas slower this time. Not seeing too many improvements. Mantas Bereika on a lap of some sort. But I believe he's just across the line to start a new one. He's been one of those that have been on the slicks for a while, so some of them, like Martynas Pargaliauskas, like Mantas Bereika, they've been running the whole session on the slick tire, trying to find where those limits are and trying to see if they can go quicker on the slicks. Will be interesting also in the semi-final how the drivers do with the slick tire, using the curb actually and using the wet spots even to set his laps. This is Juozas Kiršys we're looking at. 2 minutes 15 on our predicted timing screen at the moment. 15 low, that would put him close to the top 3. It would put him into the top 5, definitely. I think Haroldas Jotutas has crossed the line one more time, but that was slower. So the slicks are quicker, but you do have to make that lap stick. 2 minutes 14, maybe even for Juozas Kiršys. On our predicted timing screen, we'll see what he does once he crosses the line this time around. It is a 14.2, and if that isn't invalidated, it isn't, and it is to the top 3 he goes. Juozas Kiršys up to 3rd, and we'll see if anybody else can find that time. Airis Jomantas, he sits 2nd in the standings. He's the closest challenger to Haroldas Jotutas, who pulled that incredible 2 minute 12. I thought that time would drop, but it looks like Haroldas himself cannot improve on that. He's running at 13.2 this time, and Airis Jomantas 13 low for him. Everybody on the slicks except for Mantas Armalas, who's still on the wet tire. Rigardas Stavras back down onto pit road. He's not going to improve because he doesn't have enough time to improve, actually. And Noyus Sabas up to 2nd position, 13.3. He improves, and I think Haroldas Jotutas might be improving as well. 12.7 on his predicted timing screen right now. But we'll see what Airis Jomantas can do. It looks like he's improving very much, so he'll have one more shot at this. So across the line he comes. Let's see if he can improve. It's not going to be pole. It is 2nd, though, overall right now. 2nd on the provisional standings, but he's gonna... Yep, he's gonna stop, so no more improvement for the chaser. But Haroldas Jotutas will have that one more lap to do. It looks like he's gonna go quicker. He might just break into the 2:11s if he gets that final corner right. Mantas Bereika up to 9th position only, so it is very tight between the wets and the dries. Haroldas Jotutas into the 2:11s. He goes. He puts about a second of advantage over the chasing pack. This is Povilas Duchovskis. Let's see what lap time he can do. He is running very close to a potential pole position. Domas Antanas Regis up to 3rd, and now the lap times will drop. Povilas Duchovskis up to the line he comes. Justinas Bumbulis up to 2nd. He goes. Povilas Duchovskis, not pole by 100th of a second. No, 6,000ths of a second he's not on pole by, but he's got one more shot at this. Haroldas Jotutas onto pit road. I believe, or nope, that's the qualifying session done. So Haroldas Jotutas takes pole by 6,000ths of a second here at the end of qualifying as lap times drop down. Well, we saw the session really change. Let's go have a look though at the grid, and at the end of qualifying, it is Haroldas Jotutas on pole position ahead of Povilas Duchovskis. And then it's Justinas Bumbulis and Airis Jomantas in 3rd and 4th. Tiny gaps between the front 3. And then Domas Antanas Regis, beautiful qualifying performance by him. Noyus Sabas in the 72 machine in 6th place. Juozas Kiršys in 7th position. And then we look to Mantas Armalas, who was the fastest on the wets this time around in the session. A little bit of lag, but here we go. Rigardas Stavras takes 9th. Mantas Bereika in 10th position. Sigmantas Ivančikas in 11th. 12th for Darius Tulauskas. And 13th goes to Martynas Pargaliauskas. Let's have a look at the grid. Let's have a look at the starting grid. I think everybody's getting prepared at the moment. We'll see what tires people choose. And I think everybody's going to have to go for the slicks. You can see that there are still a few puddles around, especially on the curbs, but it is slick tires, the preferred option by everybody. Drivers jumping out of their cars, making small adjustments to the cars that they can do. It is going to be only one semifinal, and it is going to be then the final. So here we go, on to the formation lap here behind the Porsche pace car, the iRacing Porsche pace car, as the drivers will try to get their Pirelli tires up to temperature. Somebody's missed the grid, and that will be Noyo Sabas, who's missed the grid. He's not gone on to the grid. He will have to start from the pit lane. Maybe a choice as well to start from the pit lane. We'll see how he does. And, well, everybody gets onto the formation lap. You can still see big puddles on the inside. You can still see spray coming off the cars. So this will be one hell of a semifinal. Harald Dasiotodas, remember, he's fighting for the title. He'll have to take care, right? Because he does need to preserve his lead. He needs to collect those points. And I don't think it will be easy for him. It's one of the harder tasks you can give a driver. A semi-wet track, well, a damp track, and a very, very angry pack behind him. Remember, it is Airius Jalmatas who is the closest challenger. You saw Paulius Duchovskis make mistakes at Zandvoort, and that's how he fell off. That's how he lost the time. So this will be, well, it is a challenge for Airius Jalmatas to do something here. We'll see what the drivers can do. Harald Dasiotodas in the 56. Next to him, Paulius Duchovskis in the 15. We've seen this lineup at Zandvoort, and then we saw Paulius Duchovskis take it for a spin around the hairpin. So this will be a chance for Paulius Duchovskis to redeem himself, and a chance for Harald Dasiotodas to maybe hold on to the lead one more time. It's going to be difficult. Also, remember, the racing line, well, it's not super clean. And if you're trying to overtake someone especially, you're going to find it difficult because the inside, well, that's going to be where most of the water still is if it's not cleaned off. The final will be a little bit later in sim time, so you might see the track dry up by then, but it is going to be only one semi-final here tonight. And we'll have the warm-up in between the semi-final and the final. So I think it will be a chance for them to actually run on a dry track for the final here tonight. Remember, the winner gets a ticket, well, a chance to represent Lithuania in the Motorsport Games 2024 in Valencia in October. Everybody working their Pirelli tires, trying to get any kind of temperature into them. It's not going to be easy because, well, the track is slippery and a lot of aggressive weaving. The drivers are going to try to not do it too aggressively. If you catch a puddle, imagine what happens then. You spin off and likely cause a crash even before the race gets going. So this will be a challenge for the drivers. Here we go. Up to the line. Well, not up to the line because they still have to negotiate this tight hairpin. This will be a big point of action. I've heard drivers say before the race, it's very much a very difficult track to make moves on, to make overtakes on. And we'll see how they... it's a difficult track to make moves on, but it's a difficult track to run away as well. Because slipstream, well, it works wonders. Here we go. Up to the line they will come. We have the beautiful overhead shot waiting for Barney the Flagman to give them the green, and here we go for the semi-final here at the Race of Spain, here at Aragon, down into turn one. It's going to be difficult. Who's going to be the latest to break? Oh, and Paulius Duchovskis makes it round the outside, takes the lead of the race. Airius Jalmatas takes third, so the inside line much slower down into turn one, but I think everybody's gotten through it cleanly Incredible stuff to get through it cleanly. Povilas Duchovskis now leads the race. Haroldas Jotutas under pressure from Airijus Jomantas. Who's going to feel these conditions the best? Povilas Duchovskis doing an incredible job right now to stay in the lead and actually make a gap over everybody. So looking at this battle for second position here are your gaps on the left-hand side of your screen. Already 1.2 seconds between the leader and the driver in second place. But Airijus Jomantas putting on the pressure. This is the battle for the championship. Haroldas Jotutas doesn't need to fight him all the way because he does have that opportunity to finish behind. He's got enough of a points lead. He's won the last two events. He's taken a clean sweep of the last two events into the braking zone here into this chicane area. On your right-hand side of the screen, you see that famous brick wall. Well, you don't really. Maybe we'll get another camera angle later on. Mantas Bereka up into 9th, and big moves at the back end of the pack. I think we're going to have a replay soon because somebody's definitely crashed out. But here we go into that long back straight. Let's see who tries to make a move. It is a battle for second between Jotutas, Jomantas, and Bumbulis. Here we go. Jotutas to the inside. Jomantas to the outside. Who's going to be the latest on the brakes? And Justinas Bumbulis tried to stick his nose into there as well. To the outside. Airijus Jomantas, I think he was just a little bit more brave on the brakes. To the inside. He's going to be now for the right-hander. And he's going to be to the outside of the left-hander, free wide through the final turn. They're still free wide, and wow, Haroldas Jotutas just lost 2 positions in the span of, well, pretty much one sequence of corners. He's not going to battle it too hard, though. He knows that he can stay behind. Incredible scenes of how these drivers are running. Here's a replay of what happened. Oh, just a spin, and 2 drivers spun off, actually, so double spin. Further back down in the field. And there's a battle for second position. Justinas Bumbulis versus Airijus Jomantas side by side. They come. Haroldas Jotutas keeps losing positions. He's maybe a little bit too careful on the slick tire here. You saw him how brave he was in qualifying. Well, not as brave in the semifinal, but now he has to hold on because he knows he cannot keep losing these positions so easily. Povilas Duchovskis, by the way, 3 seconds up in the lead. He's very confident up there. Haroldas Jotutas has to hold on. He's trying to hold on over Domas Santanas Regis, who's having a great performance here tonight. Beautiful camera angle. I love this one at Aragon through the left-hander. Off wide went Justinas Bumbulis, and now it's Airijus Jomantas up into second position. He knows he needs that for his championship permutations. To the outside comes Domas Santanas Regis against Haroldas Jotutas. He's now going to be on the inside. No, not really, because oh no, Haroldas Jotutas gives him a bit of space, but that's not going to happen. Mantas Armalas, no, that's Rigardas Sidabras. They're right behind them. Noyos Sabas, I think he's had an incident somewhere because he's just lost a ton of time to everybody else and keeps losing time, so probably had a little bit of a spin. But Povilas Duchovskis, look at the gap he's got. But now back into the hairpin we come. Haroldas Jotutas under attack once again, and this is for 4th position that they're battling. I think he's going to be brave enough on the brakes this time to hold on to that position. He knows he has to. He can't keep losing that much time anymore. And you can see some parts of the circuit not throwing up any spray anymore, so you kind of know that they are the dry parts of the track here at Motorland Aragon. 207.7 from Povilas Duchovskis. That's the fastest lap of the race by far. Yep, it is by far, by about a second and a half. Ooh, a little bit tight between Mantas Armalas and Rigardas Sidabras. They've switched positions down there for 7th. And I think it's tight again between Airijus Jomantas and Justinas Bumbulis. Yes, it is, looking at them two on the screen right now. Bumbulis about 2/10 behind, about 4/10 behind he is, so he's going to have a chance once they get to the long back straight into this Beautiful downhill section. A lot of water accumulates down here. It's very much the low. Well, this is the lowest part of the track, and you can see the most water here that we've seen all the way through. That's where all the water kind of drains down into, especially from the first sector and the first half of the second sector into the chicane we go. Oh, battle once again between Mantas Armalas and Raigardas Sidabras for 6th position. Oh, big wiggle by Mantas Armalas, and that loses him the position. Not surprised there. Airius Jomantas has gained about half a second now over Povilas Duchovskis, and now these two are going to go into battle once again. And Harald Luciotto is under pressure from Doman Santana's Regis as well. A little bit of spray. And you can see a little bit of spray from the middle of the car. That's going to be the diffuser pulling up the spray, and that's going to be the floor pulling up the spray. Oh, bit of a touch. That was a late move by Airius Jomantas, and I think he's going to go wide. Yes, he is, because Justinas Bumbulis takes the inside line, and he gets through up into 2nd place. And well, that's how you lose time to Povilas Duchovskis. They haven't lost that much time. A little bit of damage on the front of Justinas Bumbulis' car. Povilas Duchovskis, quickest lap of the race once again. But actually, Justinas Bumbulis was quicker. That was just a lap with a track limit warning. As they keep coming through. 8 minutes to go in this race, so looking at about 5 laps because... no, actually, we're looking at about 4 laps. We'll see when the leader crosses the line the next time, but I think it's about 4 laps to go. Lap times are a bit high still at the moment, even if the drivers are getting closer and closer to the optimal dry line. It is very much a big risk of making a mistake. This is looking at Raigardas Sidabras. He's going to try and get to the inside of Domas Santana's Regis, but not enough just yet. He's going to try and switch back here on the exit, touches the curb and loses the car just a little bit on the exit here. Not a lot of spray through here, and then you're going to see a bit more spray through this one as they try to get closer and closer to the inside. During the wet running, it is the outside line that's preferred. During the dry running, obviously the inside line's preferred. Early on the brakes is Raigardas Sidabras. Late on the brakes is Doman Santana's Regis, and they both get a bit of a wiggle. A squiggle? A squiggle and a wiggle on the exit. And the battle continues on. Onto the back straight they go. This is the premier point of overtaking. Airius Jomantas losing a lot of time to Justinas Bumbulis. Not losing a lot of time to Harald Luciotto. So it would be a points gain still, but maybe just not enough. But as they come on to the hairpin, just have to not make a mistake and not outbrake yourself into the final turn. Just about holds on. Both of them. So the race continues on for both of them. Leader just crossed the line now, I believe. 2-minute 5.3, fastest lap of the race once again goes to Povilas Duchovskis. And I think it will be tight whether we have 3 laps or 4 laps, but I think we might just squeeze into 4 as the lap times keep dropping off. Unless Povilas Duchovskis backs away, but I don't think he's going to do that because he's doing a fine job at the front of the field. Here we go, this battle once again, looking at on board with Raigardas Sidabras, who's going to try and switch back, but not enough because the inside's just a little bit more dirty still. Maybe a bit of outbraking by Doman Santana's Regis, and now it's going to be a chance into the right-hander for Raigardas Sidabras to maybe make a move. Nope, backs out of it just now. They've still got Harald Luciotto there in front, so it isn't a lost cause to maybe make it up to 4th position. And looks like Harald Luciotto is not taking the risks that the drivers behind him are, just staying a bit wider, just taking the line of the track that they know is going to be a bit drier. It's hard to pick it out now because, oh, that's very late on the brakes by Doman Santana's Regis, and he does make the corner incredibly so. A lot of confidence on the brakes. We've seen it twice now, maybe losing a bit of time on the exit. And now is going to be a chance for all of them to fight because they've caught up to Harald Luciotto by a massive margin now. And this is a chance for Raigardas Sidabras to maybe make a move, but Tomas Antanas Regis will have the slipstream from Haraldo Siototas ahead. So battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, kind of. We'll see what moves maybe are made into the hairpin now. To the inside goes Ricardo Stavros, who's going to be later on the brakes. And they're quite close. Still side by side. They're going to come through the right, and they're going to still be side by side through the left as well. And I think now it's clear enough for the inside to be quicker. Paulius Lukowski's quickest again. No, actually, Airius Jomantas quickest by a big margin. Well, not a big margin, about a 10th, but a big margin over Justinas Bumbulis as Ricardo Stavros finally makes the move stick. And now he can go off chasing Haraldo Siototas. They've still got a bit of time. Not much, but a little bit of time to still maybe make a move for the race lead. Not the race lead, for a 4th position, but still make a move on the championship leader because Tomas Antanas Regis almost ran into the back of Ricardo Stavros and spun off. All on his own, by the way. Nobody helped him in that situation. So spin all on his own. He's going to return to the track in 7th position and side by side with Josas Kirchis, the 13 and the 36. But 13, the 13, yep, he does back out of it, so no changes there. Airius Jomantas, even if he went quicker last time, he's dropped off this time and kind of given up on that battle against Justinas Bumbulis. Lap times dropping dramatically. Looking at the predicted laps, we're looking at 2:03s maybe this time around. So about a second to second and a half a lap that they're improving. Huge, huge gains. This is Ricardo Stavros versus Haraldo Siototas. Haraldo Siototas doesn't have any slipstream ahead, so this will be a chance for Ricardo Stavros to get closer and maybe make a move. Maybe not now, maybe into the next lap. We're going to have 2 to go as they cross the line. But the saving grace for Haraldo Siototas is obviously that Airius Jomantas is not close enough to challenge for 2nd or 1st that he would actually need. Fastest lap of the race once again goes to Paulius Duchovskis. Nobody behind him improved. Nope, nobody behind him actually went quicker. Kind of wants to hang on to 4th position. We saw that the outside into turn 1 is definitely the preferred option. We'll have the warm-up, so they'll have a chance to try some things out. And Haraldo Siototas, I'm sure he'll be trying things out because this is not the pace we've seen from him in previous rounds where he'd be the one who's run away at the front of the field. Looking at this battle, no other real battles on track. We do have a battle for 12th, but I think the battle for 4th is a bit more interesting, also involving the championship leader. Moises Sabas has made another mistake as he just dropped 2 positions. Lost quite a bit of time. I think he spun around somewhere. Look at that. Look at how the lines differ. Look at how much more confidence Ricardo Stavros has into the chicane. They're going to come. Ricardo Stavros to the outside. A lot of water on the inside of the track there. He's gonna try to switch it back. I think he's gonna wait for the straight though to actually make his move. Gonna be smart about it. The outside and then to the inside. Comes the curb, so the curb not too bad. It takes that puddle there, so that puddle not too bad as well, I guess. And now on to the back straight they come. We'll see if there's any move being made. To the outside goes Ricardo Stavros. They're going to go side by side with Haraldo Siototas. But breaks early, does Ricardo Stavros? Or was that late from Haraldo Siototas? No, it wasn't. Beautifully stopped. Beautifully stopped on the apex there as well. Did not give a sniff of a chance. Paulius Duchovskis fastest once again as he gets the white flag to start the final lap of the race. 2-minute 4.0. Justinas Bumbulis goes quicker with a 2-minute 3.9, and then Airius Jomantas goes even quicker with a 2-minute 3.7. A bit wide from Haraldo Siototas, but manages to carry the speed through turn 1. and holds on. Well, they both hold position. Arisiomantas getting closer. Justinas Bumbulis getting closer, but those gaps are going to be difficult to catch up to if nobody makes a mistake there at the front. Don't think they are. I think they've just backed off a little bit because we've seen everybody else get closer to those times. Maybe the track getting a bit better, so everybody getting closer to those times. Through this little S section and through the dip here. We'll see what happens now. So you saw Haraldas Jotatas taking the really wide line through here. Actually going tighter because he saw Rigardas Sidabras do it and how much quicker that was to the inside. Haraldas Jotatas defends this one. Rigardas Sidabras waits just a little bit. Haraldas Jotatas super late on the brakes. I don't think he's actually late on the brakes. I think Rigardas Sidabras is early on the brakes there. And he's going to go to the inside. He's going to battle this one through the chicane. Very late on the brakes and almost a spin and almost into the championship leader he goes, but survives this one and actually is going to have a chance through down the straight because he had an incredible exit even after that little wiggle. And side by side they come. Into the final turn they're going to go. And onto the brakes. I think Paulius Dukowskis has taken the checkered flag. He's going to win the semi-final, but still side by side between these two. They're going to go side by side through the right. And I think Rigardas Sidabras will just about hold on to it. No, because Haraldas Jotatas is still side by side with him. It's going to be a photo finish. Drag race to the line. They touch. And Haraldas Jotatas does take 4th position by about 400ths of a second. So if you thought qualifying was close, well, just as close in the race. Paulius Dukowskis, though, your race winner. Airis Jomantas sets the fastest lap of the race. They're at the depth of it. Beautiful bricks here that we're watching. I think the racing may have just been a little bit more interesting than these bricks that we're looking at. But beautiful race. Haraldas Jotatas, your championship leader. The shock of the race to finish 4th. Well, that's how good he's been, that this is the shock of the race. So we're going to have a quick break. It's a 10-minute warm-up session for the drivers to get accustomed to the track once again, and then we'll head off into the final here from Aragon.
Welcome to OBS World, a revolution in car culture and technology. It's a 3D metaverse that merges real-life petrol heads with Web3 enthusiasts. Come inside and let me show you around. It all started with Dimitri, a die-hard car enthusiast who gathered a community around his love for cars. His vision went far beyond collecting cars. He dreamt of a space where anyone, anywhere in the world could tap into their passion and love for cars. This is where the OBS World takes shape, a fully immersive experience created by petrolheads for petrolheads. It's a place where the lines between the physical and the digital world blur. Meet our mascot, embodying the adrenaline, excitement, and precision that is the OBS World, a constant symbol of the fusion between human spirit and technological innovation. The OBS World is all about the community, about bringing car enthusiasts together, sharing experiences, and creating a digital automotive ecosystem like no other. The heart of the OBS World app is built to connect and inspire petrolheads. It's a place where you can keep up with the latest car news, join virtual and real events, and share your passion with others just like you from around the globe. The app lets you customize your garage, showcasing your personal NFT car collection. And then there's our NFT marketplace, a treasure trove of unique digital collectibles and experiences. Cars, garage spaces, and even tickets to exclusive events. All of these become pieces of the automotive world you can own and interact with in exciting new ways. We're not just bringing the thrill of driving to your fingertips, we're building bridges between the virtual and the real. With OBS World, we're giving every car enthusiast a chance to be a part of the global car culture. It's not just about driving or owning cars, it's about the passion, the community, the thrill of being part of something bigger than yourself. Every feature, every detail of the OBS World is designed with one goal in mind: to fuel your passion for cars, to bring car enthusiasts together, to create a global, immersive, and dynamic car culture. And this is just the beginning. We're constantly innovating and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the real and the virtual world. We believe that everyone should experience the automotive world, regardless of where they are. So join us. Be a part of this revolution and help shape the future of car culture. Because at OBS World, we're not just an app. We're building a community, a lifestyle, a movement. Welcome to OBS World.
cars for me is mentor, style of your discipline, of your life of goals. I believe and I know car can charge your batteries when you need it, because you have some special connection with your car, because car has story, and this story it's not just it's part of your story. This is we are petrol heads. OBS World is not just about cars, it's more about community, dreams, passion, networking in petrolhead life. Nürburgring event is example for our future users who will join us and create his history on new page of culture. This is possibility they can find in OBS World.
Right before last year's OBS World Endurance Cup, sponsored by OptiBet, we announced that the winners will receive a ticket to go to real track day and experience something which not many people do. The most difficult thing going from sim to real is obviously the feeling of the car. You start to feel the weight, and also there's no reset button. They've all adapted incredibly throughout the day and started setting really good lap times with the cars. I think they really maximized it and have impressed many people around the paddock.
Young people now starts with sim racing, and if they like it, of course I'm sure they will say, one time I have to drive at Nürburgring Nordschleife. They want to feel it in nature.
Very, very lovely, very expensive car, so I was a little bit cautious, just starting to get up to speed, get confidence in the car, especially on the braking. The braking was quite a big difference. You get a lot of G-force in the real car, so just being able to just get up to speed with that was important at first, but I think by the end of the first session I was starting to feel confident, and then when I went into the second session, you know, it was flat out, and the instructor was fantastic. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot, and I still think there's more time in it. The racer inside me wants to go faster, but yeah, massively enjoyed the experience, and I'm very grateful to OBS.
Welcome back to the track here at Motorland Aragon. And we're looking at the current pole, the pole sitter for the final. Paul Zdukowski is the winner of the semi-final. Haroldas Jototas is second. Well, at least in the warm-up session, it is a chance for the drivers to get up to speed in their cars. The track has fully dried out. Maybe there's a little bit of dust offline, but at least we don't have any spray. At least we don't have any of those difficulties for the drivers. So this will be a beautiful sunny end to the championship. And will crown the driver who will be heading to Valencia at the end of the year in October, or the FIA Motorsport Games. The FIA Motorsport Games, it's not going to only be the esports drivers. We'll see, in terms of esports, we'll see the drivers compete on iRacing and Assetto Corsa Competizione, but we have many more disciplines. It is going to be the third edition of this beautiful event. 2019 in Vallelunga, the event ran. In the capital of Rome, they had the opening ceremony. It's very much like the Olympics of motorsport. 2022, everybody went to Circuit Paul Ricard and had a beautiful festival of motorsport there. This time, well, we're heading to beautiful Valencia. Say in southern Spain. Spain's mostly sunny all the way through, so should be a beautiful event. There we'll have, if you even go to the website, the newest news from the FIA Motorsport Games are that the Ferrari Challenge and truck racing are joining the series this year, but we'll have drifting, truck racing, touring cars, Formula 4s in the real world, GT Sprint, GT. In terms of just the circuit racing disciplines, then you've got the Rally All-Stars, Rally 4 Tarmac, Rally 4 Gravel, Rally 4, Rally 2 Tarmac, Rally 2 Gravel, Rally 2 Historic Rally Gravel, and Historic Rally Tarmacs. For off-road, we'll have the Cross Car Junior and the Cross Car Senior categories. In karting, you've got Karting Endurance, Karting Sprint Senior, Karting Sprint Junior, and Karting Mini. For electric street, we'll have Auto Slalom and Karting Slalom. And for esports, we've got Esports GT on Assetto Corsa Competizione and Esports F4 here on iRacing. As the drivers grid up, well, we're getting ready to go for the final time this year in the knockout competition. These Formula 4 cars, these FIA F4 cars, being revved up, prepared for a half-hour final here tonight. As the Porsche pace car fires into life at the front of the field, it's going to start moving away, and everybody will have a chance to get their Pirelli tires up to temperature here for the final race of the season. In terms of championship standings, it's Haroldas Jototas who still leads. He leads by about 30 points, by exactly 30 points. So it's a chance for Airius Jomantas. A difficult chance, but still a chance. If Airius Jomantas wins here, and Haroldas Jototas finishes 6th, Airius Jomantas would take the championship. So Haroldas Jototas just has to stay in the top 5. That would be enough for his championship. And with that semi-final, nobody else can actually challenge for the title. It's only Airius Jomantas who's still in that race, and everybody else, well, they're just fighting for honors. I think Paulius Duchovskis wants to check off a win here this season. Haroldas Jototas will not be able to do a perfect season, even though he took pole in race 1. He did lose out in terms of his semi-final. He's won every semi-final and final up to this point. He's now lost a semi-final, so we'll see if he can get all 3 finals. Depends how much risk he wants to take as well, because if he has an accident here, he's got a very real chance of losing the battle for the championship. He does have to be aware of Airis Jomantas. That's his biggest and only competitor here tonight. As everybody gets set, beautiful sunny day now. Stark contrast to what we saw in the beginning of FP2, where it was still raining and the track was super duper wet. The drivers now can get into the dry racing mode. Remember, in Oschersleben for round 1, it was rain all the way through. When we went to Zandvoort, it was very foggy, and a chance of rain all the way through loomed over the heads of the drivers, but it never came, and, well, I don't think it was ever close enough to actually make a huge difference. Maybe a small sprinkle of shower was on the cards, but it never came through. And here, well, they've had everything. They've had wet running, they've had dry running, and, well, the qualifying session showed that taking that risk, taking the gamble on the dry tires worked out, and, well, everybody else then took the gamble on the dry tires to go top. But we still saw Mantas Armolas, who finished 6th in the semifinal. He set his lap on the wets, and, well, it wasn't the worst decision to still do a lap on the wets, especially for those maybe a little bit more careful, who tried to be a bit more careful in there. Here we go. Up to the line we come for the half-hour final here from Aragon, as our heli takes you and gives you a look at the grid. Here we go. Barney, the flagman, gets his flag ready, and it's green, and we're off. Bit of a difficult start for Justinas Bumbulis, and they're going to come 3 wide as Harald Soto takes to the outside. He's going to try and make a move down into turn 1. Incident behind, but everybody else through kind of cleanly. Well, the top 4s through cleanly. Mantas Armolas gets up to 5th, Mantas Beric up to 6th. I think big incident somewhere there in the middle of the field. Let's have a look at a replay. Here we go. This is what happened. Big touch there and spin for one of the cars, and then taking somebody else out through in that whole ordeal as well. So we've lost a few cars out here on the circuit. But here we go. Paulius Dukovskis still leads the race. Airis Jomantas, they're challenging for 3rd. He's battling with Justinas Bumbulis there for 2nd place. Sorry, Harald Jomantas has dropped off that lead pack. He's got Mantas Armolas behind him. This is on board with Airis Jomantas. He knows he needs to win. There's no real other possibility for him. Well, if Harald Jomantas would retire, sure. But Airis Jomantas wants to maximize his chances, and maximizing his chances means winning here tonight. And everybody wants to take a win away, because it is the best Lithuanian sim racers racing here tonight, so everybody wants to take at least one win. Airis Jomantas doesn't know which way to go. He's going to choose inside, and Justinas Bumbulis, by placing his car on the racing line, actually confused Airis Jomantas very much. So now he's going to go to the inside. Airis Jomantas will try to do something around the outside. Not going to happen, and Justinas Bumbulis breaks enough to not make a for Airis Jomantas to not have a chance at a switchback move. Harald Jomantas in 4th position. He's now being hunted by Mantas Armolas. So under pressure, does Harald Jomantas not have a good dry setup for the Formula 4 car, because he's losing time heavily here. And he's under pressure, very much so. But under pressure is also Haroldas Jotautas, who does... under pressure is Justinas Bumbulis, who is not in the battle for the championship. He is, however, in the battle for the race win, and Pavlos Dukovskis hasn't managed to run away as he did last time out in the semifinals, so this will be a chance for all of them to fight for the lead. Haroldas Jotautas is still very much under pressure, though. About 3 seconds back from this lead pack already, so he got a bit of damage, maybe? Something in the start melee maybe went wrong for him. Justinas Bumbulis goes off super duper wide. He was way too late on the brakes there. This gives a chance for Airius Jomantas. He's going to go to the outside. That's a brave move, and he's going to be now on the inside for the left-hander. Gets the moves done and actually gets enough of a gap to now be... Well, he's not closer to the Pavlos Dukovskis than he is than Bumbulis is to him, but he's got enough of a gap to, I think, hold on down the straight. Now is his chance to catch up to Pavlos Dukovskis' beautiful move. How brave was that? Round the outside. He just stuck through it. Incredible scenes, and he goes off wide. He's outbraked himself. Justinas Bumbulis, though, backs off of it. I think he had a slowdown penalty after going off wide, and that's why he had to now back out of it. Here you go. This is the other battle out on track. Haroldas Jotautas, who does set the fastest lap of the race, but does lose time to the lead pack ahead. He's now battling Mantas Armalis, who gets a slide on in turn 1, so it's definitely not as grippy as maybe they'd expect, because we just saw 2 mistakes being made by Airius Jomantas and Mantas Armalis. Well, they're both part of the top 3 in the championship. Mantas Armalis in 3rd. Airius Jomantas still in 2nd. If it were to finish like it is right now, we would be looking at a championship win for Haroldas Jotautas. Would be a championship win by 22 points if it were to finish as it is right now. Actually, I'm sorry, that was the wrong calculation for the championship. I do believe that, well, he's not won it just yet. He'd need to finish 11th or lower would Haroldas Jotautas to lose this one. That's why maybe he's a bit more easy on this one. Miscalculated by about 10 points. So Haroldas Jotautas would have to finish 11th or lower. It is a possibility. It's not likely, though, as 12th and 13th are out of it. Rigor Stabas is back out on track, but he's quite a bit back, or maybe he's not actually out on track. I'm not sure. I don't think he is, so it might just be that, I mean, DQ could happen in theory, and that would ruin his chances very much so, but I think he's just about got this title wrapped up. Battle kind of coming back between Airius Jomantas and Justinas Bumbulis, as Justinas Bumbulis sets the fastest lap of the race in the 23 machine. Sitting behind Airius Jomantas. Sitting behind, and he has a chance to do something here. Battle for second, and Pavlos Dukovskis is now very much clear in the lead by 1.6 seconds. Haroldas Jotautas, though, still losing time to the lead, so maybe not. Also, maybe not taking huge risks. At the well, he can easily finish 4th here, and still win the championship, so he doesn't really need to take huge risks. Looking at Justinas Bumbulis on your screens, he's right up behind Airius Jomantas, so I think he'll be trying to come back and make a move through the chicane. Well, I call it the chicane, but it's actually about a 4-turn complex here. That's the wall I was talking about. on the right-hand side would be drivers left. Lots of fans you can see in the background there as they come through. And this part's definitely a chicane. It's pretty much a section of 2 chicanes that's built here at Motorland Aragon. Sometimes, especially the motorbike, especially the endurance testing that's done here at Aragon, they use the full back straight as they come into the braking zone for the hairpin. No move yet from Justinas Bumbulis. He holds on, but Airius Jomantas goes off wide, and they're going to battle once again, side by side. They're going to come down into turn 1. They keep, this is how they keep losing time to Povilas Duchovskis, who sets the fastest lap of the race. Now, side by side, Justinas Bumbulis to the inside, Airius Jomantas to the outside, and Justinas Bumbulis makes the move stick back up into second position, right from where he started from. Funnily enough, Justinas Bumbulis did the exact same thing in... Oh, now back to side by side. They actually did the exact same thing in the semifinal. Airius Jomantas got in front, and then he lost that position. So history repeats itself. Big wiggle. These drivers really pushing the cars to their limits. What this would change, however, in the championship, it might put some drivers in different positions. Wouldn't be a switch for second. It could be a switch for third place here in the championship between Povilas Duchovskis and Mantas Armalas. I would be correct in saying that, so it would be a switch in terms of those positions. Actually, Povilas Duchovskis got in front even before the race started, well, before after the semifinal finished. So Povilas Duchovskis now up into third in the championship. Here we go into the braking zone here. Airius Jomantas does stay behind, doesn't make a move. And, oh, both of them go wide. Airius Jomantas, I think, in reaction to Justinas Bumbulis. Justinas Bumbulis just now breaking himself a little bit and losing the rear into the hairpin. And that just gives Povilas Duchovskis more lead at the front because he goes and sets another fastest lap of the race. 59.2. Well, as the fuel burns off, these Pirelli tires can hold these F4 cars quite easily. So the gaps keep on increasing, and if it looked very much manageable to bring down a 1.5 second gap at the start of this race, as the clock ticks down, I don't think a 3 second gap is manageable. Haroldas Jotot is being hunted by Mantas Armalas, very much so, as Mantas Armalas has reduced that gap. These two, they're still locked in together. While you don't get a prize for second place, I think Airius Jomantas would still want to hold on to those honors, so we'll see what he does. And if he tries to take second place here, he doesn't need to finish ahead of Povilas Duchovskis, so not many positions needed to gain by anybody. Justinas Bumbulis, well, he will gain quite a few places here. He finishes second or third. He gained quite a bit of spots as he's had a very unlucky season. And Airius Jomantas lifting off, so maybe he wants to start catching up to Povilas Duchovskis. He wants to maximize his chances in case anything happens to Haroldas Jotot. So clearly, he doesn't want to overtake. He wants to catch up as they go into the hairpin once again. Both of them don't make a mistake this time. It looks like this time round, they're both going to gain time on the lead. So maybe the only reason they were losing time is because they were battling each other like crazy at the front of the field. As they cross the line this time, it's just a tiny bit quicker by about 0.02 of a second. that Justinas Bumbulis gained. Still a gain. Not losing time, but you're not going to get close enough by gaining 0.02 of a second. If this was a 6-hour race, sure. But we've got about 17 minutes to go of this one. And that's not a recipe to catch up, as he's lost more time now. Justinas Bumbulis probably made a mistake somewhere, because he's lost the gap to about 3.5. Oh, it's coming back down, so maybe just ebbing and flowing as the lap goes on. Maybe some of the cars being more geared towards this tight and twisty section of the track. Some cars maybe being a bit more geared towards the straight line portions of the circuit. As the gap goes up and down, I think that's maybe more even a timing issue at some parts of the track, because I don't think the gap's going up and down that quickly throughout the whole lap. We are looking at Mantas Armalas, 7 seconds already back from the lead. This is Haroldas Jotutas, so losing 7 seconds without actually battling anyone. He's losing time just because he's losing time. Nojus Sabas, up 5. Darius Tulauskas, up 5. Martynas Pargaliauskas, up 5. Armalas Mantas, up 1. Mantas Bereika, up 1. We saw Mantas Bereika in 6th at one point, but now he's dropped back to 9th, so probably a few issues for him. As Justinas Bumbulis has started to catch up to the lead just a little bit. Not by much, though. About a 10th last time out, so a bit more, but still difficult to catch up. If you're only catching up a 10th a lap, there's not enough laps to go in this race. For the first time this weekend, well, we saw it in the warm-up as well, but under the 2-minute mark go the lap times. You remember when we started qualifying, we were talking about a 2-minute 14 being a super quick lap, and then as we went into the semifinal, we were seeing 2-minute 3s, I think 2-minute 4s, something like that. Now we've gone under the 2-minute mark, so that's how much the weather changes your lap times. As Airius Jomantas and Justinas Bumbulis both go wide, but no harm, no foul. Once the track has dried up now, they can take those risks and go off wide. If you remember when it was still wet and drying, if you went off here and touched the curb like the guys are doing here, you'd probably be in a wall. Well, the left driver's left wall, probably. Maybe driver's right even. You don't know where that puddle would spit you off. Haroldas Jotutas is still losing time. He's losing time and ground to Mantas Armalas in the beaver grease machine. See if there's any move being made. And Paulius Dukowskis has responded to the gains of Justinas Bumbulis and Airius Jomantas. Didn't really have to. It wasn't that important. Here we go into the hairpin as Mantas Armalas backs out of it. He doesn't want to make any rash moves. Sure he doesn't, because he knows that, well, he's battling the championship leader, soon-to-be champion-elect most likely, as Domas Antanas Regis has gone down into pit road as well. Paulius Dukowskis responds, 59.203, fastest lap of the race so far. Justinas Bumbulis and Airius Jomantas don't have a response for that at the moment. Riding on board with Mantas Armalas, the Beaver Grease Racing team, as he battles your championship leader, Haroldas Jotutas, for 4th position. Haroldas just struggling a little bit with the setup here. Maybe he's got something more geared towards the wet and maybe a bit of a softer car. And now, once it has dried up, maybe he wasn't expecting it to dry up as much. And, well, he's now running in a difficult spot here on a completely dry track and struggling. As I said, most of the drivers know the Aragon circuit to about this point of the track, because when we ran the OBS Endurance Cup powered by 100 Force, this was the part of the track where everybody went straight And then they took the super fast final turn, the double, triple left, whatever you may call it. And the track ran much, much quicker than it does in this configuration, where you've got that chicane here. Do quite a bit of extra kilometers, and then you've got the hairpin at the very end of it, so you do a bit of extra in terms of mileage and quite a bit extra in terms of lap time. Through that difficult hairpin corner and on to the part of the track they know. The top four, only Paulius Dukovskis didn't race in the OBS Endurance Cup powered by 100 Force, as Justinas Bumbulis takes the fastest lap of the race and goes into the 1 minute 58. So definitely the track getting rubbered in. The drivers burning off the fuel, cars getting lighter, faster lap times are coming in, and well, Paulius Dukovskis is under a little bit of pressure, but it's not, he's not in much danger, unless he makes a huge mistake to lose about 2 seconds, then he'd be under pressure. The gaps that they are now would be difficult to catch. Still looking at Mantas Armalas, who's not making any rash moves. And while I understand that Mantas not wanting to make any crazy moves because he does have a chance to catch up to Paulius Dukovskis. Well, small chance, but he doesn't have a chance. Mantas, well, he's not going to catch the top two. The top three, anybody from the top three, really. He might as well make a move on Harald Siototis, who's definitely struggling, and it looks like Mantas Armalas is actually going quicker than him, so we'll see if anything changes here. Touch of that curb, and look here. Harald Siototis has gained quite a bit of time, so in that slow section he's done very well to gain some time back. Now as they come down the straight, Sarmal is using the slipstream to gain time back up on Harald Siototis as they go into the braking zone and through the tight hairpin. Here's your race leader, Paulius Dukovskis, who's extended his gap once again. Look at how much speed he's carrying. You can see it from the body language of the car, how quick he is going and how much he's pushing, especially in the turns. Might be a bit more difficult for the car. I think Justinas Bumbulis and Airis Jomanas are now going side by side because they've realized they can't do anything here. And here we go. This is the battle. I think they've realized they can't catch up to Paulius Dukovskis, so now they've decided it's time to battle it out and figure out who's finishing second and who's finishing third. Here we go. This is the battle for second position. Airis Jomanas and Justinas Bumbulis, they've been running in a bit of a train for the last few laps. Now, back to battle. 9 minutes to go in this one. And we'll see when Paulius Dukovskis crosses the line, but I think it's going to be 4 to go as they'll cross the line this time round, breaking into the chicane. Riding on board with Airis Jomanas. Breaks into the right-hander, into the left, and goes back on to the back straight. This is going to be definitely a chance at a move. Uses the slipstream and goes to the inside. Going to be a bit of side drafting here down the back straight. These Formula 4 cars are reaching the highest speed they've reached so far this season. Here we go into the braking zone. They both come side by side into the hairpin. Airis Jomanas just a little bit later on the brakes. I think Justinas Bumbulis, oh, he's almost spun it. And Mantas Armalas takes the position off Harald Siototis. They're side by side, those two battling. I think one of them went wide. I think Mantas Armalas went wide, and that's how he lost that position. But these two in battle as well. So both battles got hot at the exact same time. It's going to be tied between, if we go to 4 or 5 laps to go, and they're still side by side into turn 1. Mantas Armalas trying to make something happen. just being a little bit more careful. He knows he's battling the championship leader for 4th position here tonight. Trying to catch up, but nothing doing right now. Getting close. Got an opportunity to maybe make a move. Again down that back straight. Justinas Bumbulis has lost quite a bit of time, so he's not a threat to Airis Jomantas just now. Who's actually held on to that gap to Paulius Tuchovskis, so done a good job. Made a move that didn't lose him too much time. Around this place in the F4 cars, you maybe might have a chance to draft up and use the draft like you would on an oval to catch up to somebody. Looks like Haraldas Jotutas is a bit more aggressive over the curbs. He's using a bit more of the track, but Mantas Armala is staying in his slipstream. And, well, has a chance to still overtake. It does sound very, very bad, like almost a whole car broke in half as he goes over that curb. I'm sure he hasn't. It just sometimes sounds like that. If he did touch that little bump on the inside of the curb, then it might break this Formula 4 car in half. At least tear a wheel off, but everybody avoiding those and not using them too much. Here we go. With 5 minutes and 54 seconds to go as they 5 minutes 50 seconds to go as they cross the line. The only way this race would go to free to go is if Paulius Tuchovskis dropped his pace to over 2 minutes. I think it's going to be super tight. We'll see. We'll see when they cross the line and when we get that checkered flag. Somebody's gone and locked up there. I wonder who that was, because the gap between Jomantas and Bumbulis has closed up dramatically. Maybe Airis Jomantas had a bit of a lockup. Saw that little bit of smoke there. So, see if we can have both battles in a side-by-side view in just a moment, because I think they're both gonna heat up as we head in to the back straight. Here we go. Looking at the OBS side-by-side. At the bottom of your screen, that is the battle between Justinas Bumbulis and Airis Jomantas. At the top, it's the battle between Mantas Armalas and Paulius Mantas Armalas and Haraldas Jotutas. I keep trying to put Paulius Tuchovskis into battles, but he's clear and away at the front of the field. Here we go. This is the battle for fourth. At the top of your screen, we keep watching this one side by side as they come into the braking zone. And still, Haraldas Jotutas holds on, but goes a little bit wide. This gives an extra chance to Mantas Armalas to maybe get something done here. Oh, not enough. So the battles continue on, but looking at the bottom of your screen, oh, and that's Justinas Bumbulis going off and losing a bit more time. Not maybe what he wanted. Bumbulis has kind of lost that chance at the front, at least. Or at least for now, but maybe not, because they've gone side by side once again. As soon as we took you off the split screen view, they've gone right back to battling, and that battle's heating up, so none of them want to release this one. Both of them want to keep battling, and both of them want to finish second. They want those honors of a second position. It won't really change anything for Airis Jomantas. It might change something for Justinas Bumbulis, but it would not be for a top 3 position, as Paulius Tuchovskis has that pretty much in his hands for third. Airis Jomantas has his hands on second, and Haraldas Jotutas has his hands on first. We'll see what happens now down the back straight, as this is not the final lap, so we'll have one more at the end of this one. We'll have two more at the end of this one, I think. We'll just have a look at when Apollo Zdukowskis crosses that line. Here we go. Into the hairpin they go one more time. To the inside goes Justinas Bumbulis, and I think he's just a little bit later on the brakes. They're going to come side by side through. And Airius Jomantas trying to get the switchback move. Doesn't get it done. And won't get it done by the looks of it. That's confirmation. Yep, so we're going to have 2 more laps at the end of this one. Justinas Bumbulis back up into second position. And the battle continues with him and Airius Jomantas. If something happens to them, well, Mantas Armalas and Haraldas Jototas are still within a chance. So Justinas Bumbulis and Airius Jomantas for second position. Airius Jomantas looking to the outside. He's just maybe trying to see where his braking zones are, as he's running so close to the back of Justinas Bumbulis. These Formula 4 cars providing incredible racing, and I can't wait to see them in Valencia at the end of the year to see what kind of battles we see between the drivers there. We go into the braking zones they come. Through the left, through that nice big compression there as they come through the long left now and on to the chicane. Double chicane. Justinas Bumbulis may be gaining a little bit of time. Haraldas Jototas kind of keeping that gap stable. We'll see if Airius Jomantas will try to make any moves here on the exit as they both come on to the back straight. They keep trying to get closer and closer, all of them, to each other. Both of the battles looking pretty similar as they both head on to the back straight. Airius Jomantas shows his nose to the inside, backs out of it. See if he'll try to do something into the braking zone. Nope, waits. As Haraldas Jototas now look at the top of your screen, as Haraldas Jototas has to defend from Mantas Armalas, who's now putting in a bit more of an aggressive attack as he tries to make the cutback, but goes too wide, probably. And now we start the final lap of the race. White flag in the air, waved by Barney the Flagman. And his friend, I guess, they're repeating that flag as well. As these battles continue on. Battle for second, battle for fourth, battle for the lead, long gone. And Bolas Zdukowskis has not been challenged at all today after he took second in qualifying, overtook at turn 1, and held on to the lead beautifully. And ran away with it, as he did in the semifinal, and he did that again in the final, starting from pole. Just ran away with it. Here we go. Final few turns for the drivers. Final half a lap for the drivers. Who's going to finish second? Who's going to finish fourth? 2 battles on your screens. And, well, we can't really even show you the race leader because these 2 battles are going to go to the very end. I'm sure of it, because they're both super duper close. Here we go. Through the left. Through the right, then they come. Airius Jomantas still holding on to the back of Justinas Bumbulis. He's going to have a chance. Justinas Bumbulis gets a bit of a slide on. Now this is going to be a mega chance for Airius Jomantas, who goes to the inside. Now Justinas Bumbulis gets the slipstream. Rolls reversed in about 1 corner. Huge change, and now Justinas Bumbulis will be the one attacking. I don't think Airius Jomantas expected this in any way into the final turn. Airius Jomantas has to defend. Justinas Bumbulis goes to the inside. He finds that gap on the inside. Airius Jomantas breaks together with him. They're going to go side by side. Justinas Bumbulis gets a big slide on. They're going to go side by side through there. Still side by side. Airius Jomantas holds on to second place as Povilas Zdukowskis takes the win of the race here at Aragon. And there's not a change for fourth position as Haraldas Jototas takes the championship, and he is going to go to Valencia in October. huge congrats to Haroldas Jototas. Huge congrats to Pavlas Duchovskis, who finishes in first and wins the race here tonight. Representative of Wave Italy, and wins the race here tonight. Does Pavlas Duchovskis, takes third in the championship. Airis Jomantas wins. Airis Jomantas wins. Oh, and Pavlas Duchovskis has blown his engine now. So here you go. These are the final results of the race here at Aragon. Pavlas Duchovskis wins the race ahead of Airis Jomantas, who took that position right at the end there, ahead of Justinas Bumbulis in third. Haroldas Jototas, your champion, finishes in fourth. Fifth for Mantas Saramalas, sixth for Nojo Sabas, seventh for Darius Tulauskas. Martynas Bragaliauskas finishes in eighth. Mantas Bereika 4 laps down in ninth. Domas Antanas Regis in 10th. He retired quite early on. And Josas Kiršys in 11th. Zigmantas Savančikas in 12th. 13th for Raigardas Sidabras. This is Haroldas Jototas on his victory lap, a slow victory lap. He's been the star of the show here this season, and well, today he's demonstrated a very mature drive to not make too many mistakes and finish all the way at the top of the championship, finishing fourth today. That's all he needed to do, really. Winner at Oschersleben of both races. Winner at Circuit Zandvoort of both races. Here, he finishes fourth twice. And that is your season over and done with. I hope you'll all be watching the finals at Valencia and cheering on Haroldas Jototas, who'll be flying the flag for Lithuania. That is going to be it from us tonight here at OBS. I hope you've enjoyed the season as much as we did. These Formula 4 cars providing incredible